standing on stolen Lenape territory. And if we're talking about displacement, we must acknowledge the first peoples that were displaced from this land and recognize the struggle of the Lenape people against colonialism, displacement, and genocide continues to this day. We also want to acknowledge Luis Almonte, the worker who was recently killed on a residential construction site in Sunset Park this past Wednesday. And we need to remember that the developers are not only screwing over communities, but they're exploiting workers and putting them in unsafe conditions too. So our thoughts go out to Luis Almonte's family. So SPLF is new to this struggle. We still have a lot to learn from others who have been involved in these struggles for longer. And since we are asked to speak, we figure we share some of these reflections based on our own experiences and the experiences of folks that we've learned from. So we believe it's important for us to name and understand the driving force behind gentrification, which is capitalism. And in the current phase of capitalism, the vast sums of wealth that have been extracted from human and non-human nature by capitalists and corporations are being reinvested into the transformation of urban and rural landscapes across the world. In rural areas, this looks like land grabs, extreme resource extraction, and mega projects. In urban areas, it looks like rezoning, luxury developments, and shopping malls. The primary objective of these projects is not to benefit local communities, but to extract more profits for capitalists. This is possible because capitalism has transformed land and housing into commodities that can be bought and sold without regard for social needs. Governments play a critical role in this process through mechanisms like tax incentives, through disempowerment of communities via top-down decision-making, and through the violence of policing. The displacement caused by gentrification tears at the social fabric and networks of mutual support that have enabled working-class communities, communities of color, migrant communities, and queer and trans communities to survive and thrive in the city. As abolitionists, we understand that the police and the prison system's primary function has been to protect and maintain settler colonialism, white supremacy, and capitalism, and that the violence of policing plays a critical role in gentrification. In neighborhoods targeted for development, we see increased surveillance and harassment of residents by police in order to make neighborhoods seem safer and more desirable for new, wealthier, and whiter residents and businesses that cater to them. This particularly impacts our black, brown, migrant, queer, and trans neighbors, as well as street vendors. It is also the police that enforce evictions and the inhumane laws that allow for there to be more than double the amount of vacant apartments than houseless families in New York City. Industry City's proposal aims to rezone Sunset Park's waterfront, one of the last industrial waterfronts in the city zoned for heavy manufacturing. The zoning has kept rents relatively low, provided more stability and better paying jobs to workers, and has provided critical industrial services to the city. As Uprose and Power have put forth, Sunset Park's industrial waterfront has the potential to play a crucial role in supporting a just transition towards a more regenerative economy. That chance will be lost if our waterfront is rezoned. IC's proposed rezoning would allow for almost 1 million square feet of retail space. They tell us they will bring jobs to the community. But we need to challenge the narrative that jobs will save us. This has never and will never be an absolute. When a private developer backed by international capital proposes a zoning change that will result in massive profits for the world's elite, we should not take the precarious, low-pay retail and service jobs they offer us as a fair trade.
That's right.
This only perpetuates the cycle of using the working class to serve the rich.